Now we're moving on to another favourite person of mine. It's Ben Carter. He's CMO at Purple Bricks, a new appointment. He did a similar role at Just Eat, and he's been around for a very long time. His talk is Purple Bricks, time to disrupt again. So Ben, go on then, tell us how you're going to do it.
Thank you, Justin. Afternoon, everyone. So I'm sure you've all heard of Purple Bricks. We are 7 years old, and 7 years ago, we disrupted the property market. We now list over 60,000 houses a year, and the reason we are different is that we charge one full and fair price up front, and we are a tech-led estate agent. We've been on quite a journey. We've built our business through mainly broadcast. We were set up by two brothers, Kenny and Michael Bruce. And we started off our sort of brand journey, if you like, featuring two brothers. It wasn't the brothers, but similar to the brothers. We then moved to a very, very famous campaign platform called Commisery, which really started to show how we were different to the high street. Obviously, when you sell your house to a local high street agent, you pay commission. The idea of Commisery was to highlight that and to show that with Purple Bricks you didn't. And it's fair to say that Commisery really put Purple Bricks on the map. What we started to learn, in fact, I'll show you some more data in a minute, is that whilst we were put on the map, people didn't quite believe us. They didn't quite believe the price. They didn't believe they would get the service. So our next campaign was all about starting to tell the story of our customers and really reinforcing our trust credentials. And you'll see why that's so important in this sector. And then most recently, we continue to build on those trust and credibility credentials through our partnership with Team GB. Again, more of which to come. So where are we today as a brand? As Justin said, I've recently joined as Chief Marketing Officer, in fact, 5 months ago. And like any new CMO, have done a full appraisal of the business of the brand and where we need to take it. And as I said, we are a famous brand. We are well known, but we're not well understood. So we've got very high brand awareness, probably very enviable in our sector at 97% prompted and nearly 50% spontaneous. But we have relatively low brand understanding, going back to that not understood point. Our consideration is about 30%. It's increasing again, but we've got a lot of work to go to fill what we call in the consideration gap. We are very much the UK's largest estate agency brand. But the ironic thing is, and I came from a sector where the digital transition has very much happened, in the property market, still only 7% of all house and flat sales happen online. 93% of them happen on the high street. So despite COVID, despite the pandemic, despite the fact we've seen e-commerce grow something like 40% year on year, we've not seen that happen in our sector. So the market is very, very ripe for further disruption. And I'm really excited about the opportunity that we've got now as a business to do that. But we face some challenges, and I'm always open and honest about what challenges we face. So as I said, we're the online market leader, but it's a small market, so we need to grow that market. If you look at the spidergram bottom left, you'll see how we compare in a consumer's eyes to a traditional estate agent. And our sector is not known for being trustworthy. You can see both us and traditional estate agents do not rank highly on that. And there's a massive opportunity for us really to establish ourselves as the trustworthy brand. Despite the fact that we don't talk about price in our marketing, we're really regarded as being far too price-led. And I think the biggest opportunity for us is that even though we have over 600 estate agents across the country, we're not seen as a local brand, we're seen as a national brand. And obviously when you're looking to sell your house, you want to know all about local price point, local information and local data. And we've really got to make sure that we can start to tell that local story. Also, despite the fact we're a purely digital business, pretty much all of our conversion happens in the living room and is a human-powered conversation. So there's a massive opportunity to try and drive that even harder. And the final chart is just to show this is a very noisy sector. It's a big spending sector, and we face a lot of noisy competitors. So we have to carry on investing in our marketing to make sure we stand out. So just going back to that trust point, we partnered with Team GB just before the pandemic. We had to pivot quite quickly, given obviously the fact that suddenly everyone was at home. So we had to run a whole set of creative based on Zoom advertising. But I thought it'd be good for you just to see how we started to land our USPs in our marketing.
Forget the coaches, the physios, the analysts. Behind every great Olympian is a great estate agent. Me, Alice from Purple Bricks, the official estate agent of Team GB.
And are you a sporty person?
Am I a sport? Yes. No, not really. Laura? Don't you think that being a Purple Bricks estate agent is quite a lot like being an Olympic athlete? Because I was just thinking, we've got a big support team. You have a big support team. We won the Gold FIFA Award for excellence in customer service, and you won 4 Olympic gold medals. No FIFA, though.
Purple Bricks, official estate agent of Team GB.
Forget the coaches.
Oh. So we've used broadcast to build our business, but we now need to disrupt again. We've got a new business purpose, which is to make every home move amazing. We've got a mission, which is to make sure that we achieve 10% market share. No other estate agent has ever achieved that in Britain. And we've created a new marketing manifesto, which is to make us the most famous and used tech-led estate agency brand in the UK. Underpinning that, we've got 3 pillars. One is creating and building a new famous brand. The second one is to pick up on that local point to really make sure we resonate and are much more relevant locally. And then thirdly, like any CMO, I'm obsessed with making sure that we've got the right setup and we're using the right data to make our marketing more effective. So what does it look like? So creating and building a new and famous brand. So we're going to carry on using our partnership with Team GB to really leverage it on a national and regional basis. The fantastic thing is awareness of our sponsorship of Team GB is higher than any other sponsor. And it's starting to really build associations between us and being a credible and trustworthy brand. But we're also going to rip up our pricing and proposition model and create a new go-to-market proposition later this year. To address the consideration gap, we need to make sure we build a much broader brand narrative to really try and aid that brand understanding and start to explain how we are different and trying to explain the proof points behind our business and why choosing us over the high street should be a no-brainer. And finally, as I said, we've got 600 estate agents in the country. We need to make sure they're true brand ambassadors and talking as local brand ambassadors. But local marketing is so important for this business. We're a national brand, but we're a hyper-local business. So we're creating a new regional marketing approach to trade the business, data-led, looking at opportunity areas to grow market share, but also where we're facing competition. We've got to make sure we're much more visible on a local level. So you'll start to see us involved in very grassroots and hyper-local brand activation. And also we've just got to make sure we're part of that local narrative so that we're starting to be talked about within the community, not just as a digital faceless brand. And underpinning it all, we've got to make sure we become much smarter with our data. There's a massive opportunity. Despite the fact we're a digital business, we actually have quite a limited marketing mix at the moment. So there's a massive opportunity to open up new marketing channels, to invest in new areas. Paid social is a great opportunity for us, as is CRM, but also to make sure that we're putting the right data into our marketing. We've got a really specific audience-centric marketing approach. So we're going after the right people, which will mean that we drive increased volumes of qualified traffic. As I said, we disrupted the market in 2014. We want to do it again. We think with a new brand, with a new proposition, a new pricing model, and a new always-on marketing strategy, we'll be able to do that. Back to you, Justin.
Ben, amazing. Thank you so much. Great chat. Now, loads of questions coming in. One from me first before we go into these. What are you going to take from your time at Just Eat into Purple Bricks? Obviously, you did some incredible work there and similar sort of brands, but also incredibly different. So what lessons or what techniques and tricks are you going to move across?
So I think it's really important that first of all we build brand fame. So as I said, we're well known. We've got to make sure we carry on being well known, but we've also got to really ladder in proof points of the Purple Bricks business and why you would choose that. Everything from the fact that we have a FIFA Platinum Award, we're the most highly rated estate agent on the internet. We sell more houses than any other estate agency brand. We have an app which puts you in control of your sale. So there's lots of proof points. And in terms of the learning from Just Eat again is a national business and a national brand. And obviously you see the Snoop Dogg advertising, and that's all about heroing the category and the brand, but it's also a hyper local business. And so from Just Eat, I found that actually putting in place regional marketing was incredibly effective, but very, very difficult to do at scale. So I want to make sure that we can do it at scale at Purple Bricks, but it doesn't just become a cookie cutter approach.
Okay. Fantastic. Right, questions here from the audience, rather me. Anonymous, yet again, you mentioned the reputation of the industry as a whole. Is this a big opportunity for any entrant online or not, to the market?
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity. If you look at any, as a former journalist, I can say this. If you look at professions and in terms of trustworthiness and credibility, estate agents sit amongst journalists and politicians right down the bottom of the table. So as a business where our whole business is about giving transparency to the customer, putting the customer in control of that sale, giving them the tools to do that, but also assisting them all the way with a human-powered team, we believe we're really strongly positioned to be seen as that trustworthy brand in the market.
Amazing. Okay, another one from Cindy. She's back. It's been a while. She asks, empathy, humour, distinctiveness. Rate them 1 to 3 for importance to your marketing. That's a good question. Empathy,
That's a great question.
humour, distinctiveness.
So empathy, I believe, is number one. I think it's really important that we are relevant to our customers and customer needs, and selling your house, moving home is a very big thing. Humour is really important to give us personality and stature, and distinctiveness is 3. But I mean, they're equally as important as each other. But I'd rate them as empathy 1, humour 2, distinctiveness 3.
Excellent, nice quick answer. One here from Stephanie. She says, customer service, personal and direct contact, big when buying a house. Big when buying houses. Is this an issue for Purple Bricks being an online brand?
Yeah, so what a lot of people don't realise is that we're an online brand, but with a human-powered team. So we have dedicated local estate agents, we have a contact centre, we have an after-sales service centre. So we have teams of people who are helping you along the process. So the whole proposition of Purple Bricks is you sell it your way. So either you can completely do it yourself using our app, you can talk to your chain using our app. That's something you can't do through a traditional agent, or we'll help you every step of the way through our teams.
Perfect. Last one here, I think we can fit in from Kwame, who says, property is full of challenger brands. What advice would you offer in terms of using marketing to stay ahead of the competition?
Yeah, look, so like any marketplace business, it's really important you build your brand, but you need to, going back to the point from Cindy, you need to make sure that you're distinctive and stand out. You need to start local and really make sure you're very relevant locally, both in terms of visibility, but also with a clear point of differentiation. It's a really cluttered, crowded market, but there's a fantastic opportunity, as we've seen for us, to really try and cut through with a very different proposition and a different attitude and personality.
Ben, perfectly ended. We're out of time. Thank you so much. Great to see you again. I hope we see you soon in a real pub.